Hello, I'm Lucky, and I want to share with you a story, or at least one part of the story, because the Iron John story is has a lot of major pieces to it, and up until now, I haven't quite known which part of the story is most important for right now. The garden seems very important, but there's another part where the main character says well, he goes to the edge of the forest and yells for Iron John because Iron John told him to do so. He said, when if you ever need anything, when he sent him away from the pond, if you ever need anything, yell that name, Iron John, Iron John, Iron John, and I will come. And I have more gold than you could possibly. I have more gold than you can possibly imagine. And so there's this moment where the boy is working in the garden, and a war begins, and the king is there with his people. Um, and I wanna really focus on this image of the boy going to the edge of the forest and yelling that name. I remember the first time I ever did that. Like really did that without a care for what other people were thinking about me. Just simply being willing to say that name and allowing those energies to kind of come up and fulfill you up. Because it's something else entirely when you're working with these deities. Um, I'm not sure if it's similar to the experience of what an archetype is, or which archetype specifically, but this, in some sense, is the energy of the wild man and being in touch with that, but not being the wild man, just being in touch with the wild man. Um, Similar to the idea of what Dr. Jordan Peterson says is being willing to be dangerous. You know, in his talk he talks about one of the talks he says the meek shall inherit the earth, and the meek being not something weak or you know timid or anything like that, but he looked up one of the original Greek translations that the word meek was translated from, and the original translation meant something much more closely to those who have swords and know how to use them but keep them sheathed. So I think that's very impactful and very powerful. And I just want to share that with you, that image of if you need it, you have the ability to go to the edge of the forest and call that name, Iron John, Iron John, Iron John, and he will be there. Uh, that man that was in the cage, that was at the bottom of the lake or the pond, that carried the young boy out of the forest. He's there still. He's just kind of a background character right up until you need him, and this is what the story is about: bringing to light some of these challenges and ideas that can ultimately help one to remember who they really are and get in touch with that. So, thank you. I'm Lucky. And I just want to, before I go, I want to just really, put my finger on one thing in particular, and that is the image or the idea that you want to be in touch with the wild man. But you don't want to be the wild man. If you want to be the wild man, I wouldn't be surprised if they slapped some iron on you. So, just being aware and noticing and paying attention to the little nuances and subtleties. Thank you, I'm lucky, and have a great day.